Honorable Osoi, member from Matapato North, and you have received enough information on this budget.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I stand to support the motion and thank the Committee on Budget, led by Honorable Kuya Nina. And Mr. Speaker, I just have two questions to ask. And before I ask the question, Mr. Speaker, it's very good that any other time we have, Mr. Speaker, this issue of budget, I think the Budget Committee should be given enough time to bring the complete document so that we cannot keep guessing what we are saying. And Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Budget Committee, especially being the member of Health Committee. They have really considered us this time round, and we really want to congratulate you, because health is a very sensitive issue concerning our life and the life of our people, especially in Kajiado County, and we want to thank the committee for considering Health Committee. But Mr. Speaker, I just want to ask these two questions. That now that because we have seen, Mr. Speaker, for the last 7 years, our revenue collection, Mr. Speaker, has never met the target. How are we going to rectify this thing, Mr. Speaker? Because if revenue is not collected as per se, Mr. Speaker, then I think we shall have the same problem over the years. We have been talking about automation of the revenue system, Mr. Speaker. Up to date, we don't know whether it is done or not. And I think, Mr. Speaker, as a house, we have the responsibility. We have the responsibility. I think we are not putting as much force like is required, Mr. Speaker, so that we can push the executive, Mr. Speaker, to the demands of the Assembly, that we needed the Revenue Department to be automated. Because, Mr. Speaker, failure to that, we will continue with the same problem. We will fight here because of the resources, Mr. Speaker, and we will never stop if we cannot fight the executive so that they can rectify the things of the revenue. Mr. Speaker, and I have another question. How are we going to balance the ballooning wage bill, Mr. Speaker, and the job creation? Because if you ask every member of this House, Mr. Speaker, everyone wants people to be employed. But to my surprise, Mr. Speaker, currently we have advertisement of the ECD teachers, Mr. Speaker. That is another wage bill that is increasing, Mr. Speaker. Tomorrow, the honorable member for Osoi ward want the hospital to be upgraded to be level 4. The same to Paka, I don't know whether Pakasol or Doklani. The same apply to me in Ngantatai, Mr. Speaker. And then we are going to employ people. How are we going to balance this, Mr. Speaker? Are we saying that we are going to support the increase of the wage bill, Mr. Speaker? Those are the questions that I have. And for the Budget Committee, how are you going to help this county on the wage bill? Because you make the budget, how are you considering the ballooning wage bill? Because we are talking about development, Mr. Speaker, and development, if we have wage bill, Mr. Speaker, we will still complain about a pending bill. That is the question I have, Mr. Speaker. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, we have donated 2 million for fuel, for the grading and managing of our road. Mr. Speaker, I want this to be recorded. And I will say it because I'm a man who talks the truth. Mr. Speaker, let me say this for the record. I'm 100% sure if the Committee on Budget, because I think you are the ones who went and discussed about how are you going to make sure that the 2 million that you have allocated to our wards is going to work. Mr. Speaker, if the Budget Committee slip, I'm 100% sure that half of the members, especially the elected members, because they are the ones who are concerned with that, they will come to this House complaining that the money has been lost, the 50 million we have not seen. Mr. Speaker, it is true that we are not supposed to be given this money directly. But we have our petrol stations in our ward, Mr. Speaker. They can allocate the 2 million to our petrol stations so that we can, because, Mr. Speaker, I'm wondering, how are you going to fuel the tractors? I don't know. I've seen they have allocated 100 million so that they can buy the new tractors, Mr. Speaker. And if those new tractors are not buying, Mr. Speaker, and the one we have, I don't know whether they are even moving from one place to another. Leave about putting the full of 2 million.
Time out. Osoi, and thanks a lot for your contribution. And I hope,
Lastly, Mr. Speaker, I support.
well. And